Hello, I am Steph Fournier, personal branding coach, and today I'm going to give you a quick little tip on using the website Coolors to adjust your color palette in order to make it a little bit more muted. So what I usually like to do is I like to build my color palettes in Coolors. This is COOLORS.co. This is a great way to create any color palette because you can fiddle around with them and really just make something nice and be able to see it all together and make very minor, quick adjustments. So when building this color palette, it makes a lot easier. So I've brought up a fairly bright color palette here. When you're working with your soulmate clients and trying to attract those perfect people, sometimes you want to adjust it based on what you think your audience is going to like. So a bright, friendly brand that's very strong colors, as this one that I'm working on is going to really attract people who are looking for a lot brighter in your face content. You might want to tone it down if, say, you're like working maybe energy healers who have a little bit more calm, or like a spa type thing, or just if you yourself are a little bit more calm and reserved, then this is a good idea to tone things down and create a little bit more muted color palette. I've entered in the hex codes here. You literally can just click on the numbers, enter in your codes if you have a color palette already, or if you are working with something in this website, you can have them set up here. So what you want to do is then click over to this little sunshine button up here. What this is going to adjust is basically the color palette itself without having to go through each one separately. And this is really nice because you can actually change like the hue here if you just want to really go crazy there. That's probably not going to be super applicable for most of the time. Now, if you want to, create something that's a little bit more muted, what you can do is actually just slide the saturation down a little bit. What this does is it just takes a little bit of the boldness out of the colors and it makes things a little not so in your face. So that's great for your personal brand if you are a little bit more of a calmer brand. I do sometimes like to offset this saturation or desaturation with a little bit of brightness just to stay a little bit more closer to what your original vision for your color palette was. And that way things stay pretty close to what you started with, but you can see here that it's not quite as bold. So when you pop this into your brand, it's just going to have a slightly calmer approach. This is a really great tool to use if you are just looking for something that's a little bit adjusting to what you want to attract your soulmate clients. Another tool here in the sliders, of course, is temperature. This is great to think of, warmer tones if you want that warmth, or cooler tones, of course, too. So definitely check out that little sunshine adjust in this thing. If you're not already using Coolors to build your color palette, totally recommend it. I use this in all of my color building for my clients and also my other courses like Brand Colors That Resonate.